All right, so a couple of questions. One is, what do I think about the view of creation versus evolution in the church? And could this be a form of the Antichrist? Well, in terms of form of the Antichrist, there's several things listed in the Bible with reference to the Antichrist. I don't know if a specific view on creation is one of them. However, that being said, clearly a view that God didn't create the world, this is actually not a form of Antichrist, but actually a form of atheism. So it's more basic than that. It's not just a denial of Christ, it's a denial of the whole essence of God, the Godhead himself. It's actually more severe than that, or is equally severe, if not more severe. Because clearly, if you say there is no God, then you're beyond Antichrist. You're not making a statement about Christ himself. You're making a statement about the entire nature of the universe itself. So, evolutionary theory. If people, I hear a variety of views on this. If someone says, I think evolution, there's such a thing as creational evolution. In other words, God uses evolution in order to create. Boy, I don't think that's a good view. The Bible seems to say God's actively involved throughout the creation and that it's not accidental. Like he doesn't just put the pieces on the chessboard and then looks up a week later and goes, oh, look, checkmate. That he's moving them. He's moving every pawn and every bishop. So now that being said, exactly how God creates each of the animals and the means, I think there's freedom with which people will think about those kinds of things. But there's no freedom to disconnect God from the creative process at all. God either created the universe or he didn't. God either created animals, plants, trees, people, or he didn't. There's no way that humans are purely a biological evolutionary step away from a dog, a cat, or something like that. That doesn't make any sense because God specifically says he made people in his own image, distinct from the animal kingdom in a very specific way. This explains the missing link because there is no way to link the human capacity of life and spiritual life and all these kinds of things with anything in the animal kingdom. There is no link because God uniquely created humans separately. So I would say if someone says, no, I don't believe any of that, I think evolution explains all of it, I would say, even if they say, well, I think God started it, this kind of deism idea, I think even that is not consistent with the Bible. And so I think it is necessary for someone to have a relationship with God is to believe he is and that he created the universe. That's a starting point. And that he created people. And that people are uniquely created by him. Those things are all absolutely necessary. After that, now we could have a discussion about various dogma from that. Young earth, old earth, how God did the creating. Was it, instantaneous, or did he spend periods of times or epochs or seasons? Those kinds of things, I think you have more freedom within that, as long as the person is saying, look, God is actively involved in creating all of it. He sustains it through the whole process, whether it took 1 billion years or 6 days. I think there's some freedom maybe in some of those discussions, as long as everyone's acknowledging the direct hand of God in the creation. So that's a good question. So I appreciate that one.